Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Victoria. Today, I figured we would do a little story time, get ready with me. I'm gonna be talking about a Tinder date that I had in the past. Obviously, this was a long time ago because I've been in a relationship with Seth for a while, but I figured maybe it'd just be like an interesting story to tell while I do my makeup. So I have done all of my face makeup and my eyebrows, so I'm just gonna be focusing on the eyes. But yeah, I just thought maybe it'd be a little fun thing to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Back in 2000, it must have been 2018, because I think I was in a relationship until December, because we broke up right around his midterms. Anywho, we all know how Tinder works, you know. I matched up with this guy. I thought he was pretty cute. He wasn't from here, he was just visiting for the weekend, but I was like, let's just go have drinks or something. That's cool, because he comes up pretty often to the area, so it wasn't any kind of, you know, a booty call or anything like that. So we're talking and everything, right? And he is a firefighter, and I'm like, okay, that's super cool, no problems there, everything's all good, you know. Wasn't even sure if we were gonna actually meet up. It was kind of super up in the air. Last minute we decide we're gonna hang out. I was like, well, let's go downtown. I'm familiar with downtown around here. We can go, we can have a few drinks, you know, we'll just talk, we'll get to know each other and see if this is worth anybody's time. But I didn't know that this man was not a drinker or anything like that. I used to, especially back then, I was drinking a lot. I was going out pretty much every single weekend, sometime 2 nights a week. It was either I think it was a Sunday night or a Saturday night, and I had to work, and then he was leaving the next day to go back home. So anyways, skip ahead, we're at the bar, we're just talking and everything, and he tells me that he used to be in the military, and most people would not care about that. I personally am not the biggest fan of that. I've had so much family in the military, and it has really messed them up in the head, and so I'm just not fond of it. That was just never my thing. I never wanted to date a guy that was gonna be in the military. So right there I was like, okay, whatever, that's in the past, you're not in it anymore, you're a firefighter, that's super cool, all that jazz. So whenever we meet up and we're talking and we're having a good time downtown, we are at this one bar that I enjoy going to. It is very busy there. It was just I don't know, it was so busy, right? Of course, you know, whenever you go downtown, a lot of the times it's gonna be busy and there's going to be a shit ton of people. It's gonna be so loud. You're going to be raising your voice or yelling just so you can talk to your friends and everything. So I'm totally used to that. It's really normal. And during a lot of the conversation, he just kept saying what or huh and everything. So of course, just repeat myself normal. It's really loud, I get it. Also, while we are here, we are, you know, we had a few drinks. I can't remember if I was drinking liquor or if I was just having a few beers, because I did have to work the next day at 11 a.m, which is not super early or anything, but just not trying to go super hard. I had no intention of getting drunk. I did drive there myself downtown, when usually I would take an Uber or something, but you know, I just knew that that wasn't something that I was trying to get into that night. It's just it's super busy. We leave that place and we walk around to go to, I'm trying to find the next place for us to go. So you know what, whatever, it's all cool. We're having a good time. We're talking about horror movies. We love them, and I'm okay, this is super cool. We got some things in common. I'm sorry, this eye makeup is getting all wonky on me. I'm not trying to figure out how I want to work this. So the next place we go to, since we were having you know, such a hard time trying to have a conversation, and the next place that we went to, I made sure that it was you know, a lot more quiet and everything, but I still wanted to go somewhere that I was familiar with, since, you know, I don't know this guy, but I do know downtown. So mama did not raise an idiot. I've watched too many true crime shows. Ain't getting down with that. We go to the next place, and which is not too far away. We went to this place where all of the little tiny this half of the road is it's barricaded off so that you can't drive down there, and so they open it all up, so all the bars are connected. There's 2 or 3 bars on the second story, and then there's about 6 on the first floor. Then they also set up usually 1 to 2 freestanding little outside bars in the middle of the road. So I really enjoy that because I like being able to, you know, walk from one bar to another without having to get rid of my drink, because I can't open container carry. The next place is outside because, like I said, I want to be able to talk and hear the guy more. Sorry, I had to get up to put some lip oil on. Homegirl is chapped. You know, we go to somewhere that's a little more quiet it is outside, there is probably a third to half of the amount of people that there were at the other place. And he's still just like, every time I talk, he's just like, huh, what? Guess I should start saying, if you know me, I have the mouth of a sailor, and you know, I don't really hold back unless, you know, like obviously it's like my job. I don't ever hold back. That is just like not my thing. I would rather you just see me for like who I am, what my personality's like, you know. I don't want you to think that I'm just like, oh my goodness, all the time, you know, dropping the F-bomb every other 4 words. Okay, that's just like how I am, and whatever, like if that's not for you, that's not for you. I don't really think of it, and I don't even know if that's how he took it. And I was just like, hey, you know, I know you've been having like a really hard time hearing me all night, like from place to place, no matter where we go. Is your hearing effed up maybe from like the military, or like is it something else? Because I think he had mentioned like earlier in the night that like, you know, he just like doesn't have the best hearing. So I asked him because like I know the family has been like, you know, because of like guns and stuff, like their hearing is affected from the military. So I was just like, hey, like, you know, it's like, is your hearing just, did like something happen, or like did it get like effed up like in the military? Just like trying to also like continue a conversation with the guy. After I say this, he looks at me and he goes, I can't believe you would ask me that. He's like, why would you effing ask me that? Like, that's so effed up. At this point, I'm like, oh no, what did I do? I triggered something, right? You know, I don't even like know what to say. It's like 12:30 in the morning at this point. The bars close at 2, so I was like, okay, wanting to leave soon anyways. And I'm like, oh god, okay, I did something I should not have. And it's like, oh, like, what do you mean? And he was like, oh my god, the night was going so good, but now it's ruined. And I'm just like, oh my god. I'm going to die or something. I've watched too many scary movies. I've seen too many documentaries. I listened to too many podcasts. This is my time. I'm just like, you know, I'm just like not understanding, and he's kind of like mumbling under his breath and stuff. I don't know. I didn't like really know what to say. When he's mumbling, of course, like I cannot hear him either. So I'm just like, what? Like, what did you say? And he grabs me by the neck, not like this or anything. Like, we are in public, puts me in like kind of like a chokehold. I wish I could mimic it. 1 second. Okay, so I am said man and Sabbath is me. So I'm like, blah blah blah, what do you mean? And he just like, I can't do it to him without hurting him, but he's just like this. He like shoves me into his neck, right? And he was like,
we were having such a good time, and like the night had to be ruined. Everything's ruined.
All this is happening. My life is, you know, it's kind of flashing before my eyes. I was just like, oh, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Like, the night's still good. I'm also thinking in my head, I'm like, did I even like tell anybody that I'm down here? Did I tell anybody that like I'm on a date with like a random man? I'm getting like worried, and I'm like, I did think we were having a good night. I did think like everything was going so good. What do you mean? And he's just like, oh, it's ruined. It's ruined. I'm like, sorry. Like, I don't know what happened. And at this point, you know, obviously I'm worried. Side note, he is drunk now. He didn't drive or anything. Man is drunk. I am not even like any kind of close to being tipsy or anything like that, because like I said, I drove. Like, I think we were drinking beers. He's also had the same amount to drink as me, probably like 2 or 3 drinks. Like I said earlier, did not tell me that like he did not drink a lot. He's drunk, and I mean drunk like eyes are like heavy like this. You're like starting to sway, and I was just like, oh my goodness, all of this is going on. And I'm just like, oh, blah blah blah, I thought we were having a good time, yada yada yada. And he's just like, no, it just turned bad. And I was like, well, it's also getting late, you know, and like we've been drinking, so let's like get ready to go. Like, call you an Uber so that you can go back to your friends or family, like whoever he was here seeing. He's like, no. What do you mean no? Yeah, we need to like get you a ride like back to your place, like, and I can't take you, like, I told you like I have to go to work in the morning and stuff, and it's like getting late, like I've got to go soon, you know, like it's 1 in the morning now, and yeah, like I told you I have work in the morning. It's just like, no. I mean, can I order it for you on my phone then? He's like, no, and he's like trying to like take my phone from me. So eventually we get out of like blocked off road, right? So we're like back outside closer to the road, like where cars are driving. I'm still trying to convince him that like we have to like get his Uber, like you need to like get going, and like he's just fighting me like no, and like I'm too nice, I guess. I don't want to leave you in the middle of downtown, like you're drunk and you're not from here. And then he's just like arguing with me, right? And I'm like, can you at least like get it pulled out so like I know that you're not, so that I know like somebody's going to be coming to get you or something. And he's like, no. We're just like going back and forth for probably a solid like 5 minutes. I'm so worried. Like I also was just like, this is really weird. Like I don't want to walk away and then he starts following me in my car. Like that's what I was getting like really scared of. You know, there's only so much fighting you can do with someone who is drunk. They're just like not gonna listen to you. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Like go ahead then. I'm gonna leave you. And then like as long as you like you're gonna order the Uber. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, blah blah blah. Like I said, I was still like super scared. It really weirded me out. So I was like, okay, if this man's gonna follow me, I intentionally started walking like the opposite way of my car because I'm just like weirded out, right? And so it's getting closer that like everybody's starting to like leave and get ready to go because like I said, everything's closing at 2. It's past 1 o'clock at this point. I can't like, you know, if he's following, it's gonna be hard to tell with like everybody like leaving and stuff. So and then I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm just like I'm gonna go back into the bar that like we started at. So I go and like looking to see if I know anybody or anything so I can say something to somebody. I forgot to mention earlier, we ran into like this guy that I knew that he was talking on and off with my roommate at the time, and like I even introduced him. I don't know if he like got weirded out by that because like the guy was like so like big and like maybe intimidating to him because he's like, I don't know, he was like 6'5", 250 pounds, and like the guy that I was with was probably like 5'9", 5'10". I don't know what was going through man's head. So like I go through and I'm like looking because I'm like maybe I'll run into him or something, and I was like, okay, well I'm not gonna leave out the same door because I don't know if he's waiting outside or something. I walk through the back door because like I know where I'm going, right? I know downtown pretty freaking well back then because I used to party so much. Like I said, I don't think I had told anybody that I was going downtown like with some guy off Tinder, which is so dumb. So then I was starting to text my roommate just like, hey, this is the situation. It's being really weird. He wouldn't like, you know, let me make sure he got in like a car or anything. He wanted me to leave. I finally get to my car. I'm like watching my back the whole time, making sure that he did not follow me. Thank God he did not. Well, I'm driving and I'm going through downtown. Then I saw him and he's just like standing there on the corner, and I don't know if he's like waiting for an Uber still or not. So I did not care at that point, you know. I left homeboy. I left him down there. I got so weirded out by him. I've been in some weird experiences and I'll have to maybe like talk about more Tinder dates that I've had. I get home and everything was normal, and then like the next morning, I believe, like I had blocked his like phone number and everything, so I was like, hell no, like he ain't like trying to get in touch with me. So I blocked him on there. But then the next morning whenever I got up, I saw that I had a message on Tinder and it was from him because I hadn't blocked him yet. He apologized and he's like,
I'm sorry, I'm just like an asshole when I drink. I really hope you still watch that scary movie that I told you about.
Being reasonable, a rash person, I do not message him back. I fucking blocked him on there, and that was that. I blocked him and went about my day. To wrap this up, be careful going on Tinder dates or any dating app. Tell somebody where you're going. iPhones have like share my location, so you can like go into the contacts of that person or like in the text message, and you can like add that you want to share your location with them. Then they can literally see your location at all times, like wherever your phone is. That would be a lot safer. Just tell somebody like where you are going and like send a picture of like whoever you're meeting up with, you know. That's it. I'm alive. I'm here. I hope you enjoyed like watching me do some makeup while I tell a weird story. And yeah, maybe we can do it again. I'm gonna put like my Instagram and everything below. I am on there obviously like way more than I am on here to converse with people. So yeah, make sure to follow me so we can be friends. And I'll see you guys when I'm on here next time. Bye!